And then as you make your way to your space where you're working, the first thing we're doing is just that nice setting up our nervous system. So just a nice even stance. Feet are nice and solid on the ground. And then you're just going to start to let your eyes and your head look around your space. You'll start just by noticing the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you, the walls around you. You're going to let your eyes and your head go wherever they want to go. And then as you start to look around, you're just going to find something nice, something lovely, something, it could be a nice color, it could be a nice texture, it could be your favorite thing. And you're just going to let your eyes rest on that thing for a moment. Take a nice, generous breath. And then bring it in and shake out the Etch-a-Sketch. Just give everything a good shake out. Clear the screen. And then once you've shaken out the Etch-a-Sketch just enough, we repeat the process. So we do it twice. All right, so come back to your soft neutral stance. Start to let your head and your eyes just look wherever they want to go. Just your FYI, I learned this move from like a yoga trauma-informed bit of work training that I was doing. And I was like, but we could all use this for our nervous system. So we don't have to have trauma and we could still touch base with our nervous system. All right, so let your head and your eyes just go wherever they want to go. And then it could be the same thing or it could be something new, but you're just going to let your eyes land on something nice. It could be a nice texture, a nice color. Maybe it's just your favorite thing. Let your eyes rest there for a moment. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then bring it back in and shake the Etch-a-Sketch again. Just give your whole body a good shake and wake. And then once you've shaken and waken it just enough, now we're going to take it into a little bit of work and a roll down. So nice wide even stance. You're going to tuck your chin down, peel your back away from the imaginary wall, bend your knees as you go. Then we're going to come up halfway lift. So you're going to come up halfway. You're going to let your arms do that heavy dangle circle, go for about 5 circles in one direction. Go for about 5 circles the other way. And this is just for anyone who's got those mischievous shoulders, frozen shoulder, that kind of stuff. Anyone who's got that sticky shoulders that gets a little bit grumpy in the morning. One more circle around and then strong feet, push into your feet and come back up. And then we repeat that process. Bend your knees, tuck your chin, peel your back away from that imaginary wall, roll down. Come halfway up. Let your arms circle, go about 5 circles in one direction. Go for about 5 circles the other way. And then to come up, we just bend the knees, push down strong into the feet, return nice and slow. Take a second there, and then we do it again. Tuck your chin, roll your way down, peel your back away from that imaginary wall, bend your knees as you go. And then we inhale up to that halfway point, nice, strong, sturdy back, and then we circle the arms. Go for about 5 circles in one direction. 5 circles the other way. All right, now bend your knees, push down strong into your feet, come back up nice and slow. We're going to do it one more time. Peel your back away from that imaginary wall. Think 1 vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees as you come all the way down. And then inhale up to that halfway point, arms in that heavy dangle. Let your arms circle. Go for about 5 circles in one direction. Go for about 5 circles the other way. Nice. And then bend your knees, push down strong into your feet, come up nice and slow, nice wide stance, hands to the hips with that little bit of a Lego hand squeeze onto the front pockets of your jeans, and then start to circle your hips. A slight touch of myofascial release as we move those hips in circles. The myofascial release comes from the squeeze of your hands. So squeeze into those hips as much as you can. All right, and then take those hula hooping circles, go the other way. I did adjust my microphone, so I'm now just back to old standard, clip to my sports bra. So if anything goes wrong, mother, you're in charge. You get to unmute yourself and say, hey, I can't hear you. You're cracking up all over the place. Sorry about that yesterday, Liz. All right, take one more circle around, and then you're just going to take it into some nice, gentle twists. Twist to one side, twist to the other. few more twists here, but the first move we're hitting right into is our squats. So when you want to go into your squats, if you want extra, if you want more oomph, you're going to put your looping resistance band around the tops of your thighs. You're going to grab some heavy hand weights, and possibly, if you really want to double down, you'll put your theraband underneath your feet. So you can go triple threat, or you can go nothing at all. So you're going to choose your own adventure. If you're opting to put that looping resistance band on, take a second to grab it. Decide what's going to feel good. For me, because we haven't been doing squats and deadlifts and all the good stuff all month of March, I'm going to go empty handed, but you are going to go for what feels really good to you. For me, I'm going to go hands behind the head. I'm going to step my feet to a nice wide configuration with the toes a little bit turned out. And then we're going to inhale as we go butt back, bend the knees, keep your chest and chin lifted. And as you exhale, push strong into your feet to return. Focus on the breath if you can. Inhale, go butt back, bend your knees, spread your sitting bones. Exhale, push into your feet to come up. If you have a tendency to want to bring your chest all the way forward when you're taking those squat maneuvers, put yourself near a wall, put yourself nice and close to your foam roller in standing position. And as you squat down, it's not going to let you go forward because otherwise you'll knock your foam roller over. So we want to keep that nice lift in the chest and lift in the chin. And it's not, for me, it's not how deep you go in your squat. It's how sturdy you go in your squat. And you're going to go for about 5 more if you can. Follow your breath. Inhale as you go down. Exhale as you come up. Beautiful. All right, next up, we're going to go into some deadlifts. So if you want here, you can put your looping resistance band on. You can go for some heavy weights. You can go theraband underneath your feet. You can get a nice good grip. So for our deadlift, in comparison to our squat, we go butt back, bend the knees, chest, and the chin stays lifted. Deadlift, we come over the front pockets of the jeans with a nice long spine. Then we push down strong into the feet to return. If you want to go empty-handed, that good back body connection, hands behind the head, or crisscross your hands at your heart, but keep that nice long spine. And then just follow your breath for the rest. Inhale as your butt goes back, heart comes forward. Exhale, we push strong into the feet to return. Nice work. Two more if you can. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take it into some calf raises. So if your arms were tucked behind your head, take a second, shoot them out, shoot them out, shoot them out. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward. For some of us, however, if you need that a little extra work, you can go for that Pilates stance. So the heels together and the feet in the pieces slice, and you keep your heels together because that works the inner thighs a little bit more and it really zips up that midline. So choose your own adventure with your calf raises today. What we want to shoot for though is to see if we can get a good spread of our toes on the ground and keep that good spread of the toes. Lift your heels up to a comfortable height, lower with slow control. And then as we go up and down, we want to keep a nice upright posture. And we want to try to get our heels to come up and go down evenly so they're not buckling out and getting little wiggle wobble. So we want that nice, slow, steady control. For me, this one's not so much about good height. It's about good control going up and going down. Because the height, you can see when you hit that, after that halfway point, it's kind of easy in that upper range. So that halfway point, you're getting that big pump of the muscles. We come up a little bit more, so we find that good control, and then we lower with control again. Going to go for about 6 more. And as you go along, notice, are you clenching your jaw? Can you keep breathing in and out through your nose best you can and keep a little bit of softness into your jaw? Nice. One more up and down. And then we're going to take it right into those cross behind squats or curtsy squats. So start by just finding that cross behind maneuver. Add a looping resistance band if you want a little bit of extra work. Add hand weights if you want a lot of extra work. Choose your own adventure. I sometimes like a single hand weight in that funky grip so that I can bend down and touch the ground. But if you can comfortably bend down, tap your finger to the ground. Go where it feels good. You want to work through the strength of your legs. And then very similar to our deadlift and our squat maneuver, you'll follow that breath. So it's an inhale as you go down and an exhale to help with the effort to come up. Two more times through if you can. All right, now we're going to take it into those sideways monster walks. So we get that squat position and then we start to walk sideways. So same thing here. If you want looping resistance band on, if you want your theraband underneath your feet and you just hold on to it, the romper room where you get that little hook underneath your feet. So go for the added resistance that feels good to you here, but we're working the legs a lot. So you might go, I don't want any because I've already got enough of my own body resistance. Sit into your little squat and start to find your sideways step in. You're going to step sideways to one edge of your mat. You're going to stay low in that squat position, and then you'll take it to the other side. You want to try to keep your chest up just a touch. So we're not looking down at our feet. Once you know where you're going, keep your eyes forward. Eyes forward is good for your nervous system because that's kind of the way that our eyes work when we walk. So allow your eyes to, allow your eyes to go where they feel safest going. Go one more time through, work yourself to one edge and then work yourself back to the other. All right, now we're going to take it into those lunges where we take that quad lean back. So rearrange yourself in a way that makes good sense. And this is one of those ones where it might be a little bit of a balance. So you want to find a good balance, lean back into that quad and come forward. So we step back into a lunge position. We lean back so we get that back leg, top of the thigh to get kicked on and do a little bit of work to hold you there. And then come forward, step it in, switch sides. Other foot steps back into that lunge. You can also step forward into a lunge. So if reversing into lunge doesn't feel good, step forward, but we still want that lunge. And then we lean into the back leg, get that muscle to kick on, step forward, and then switch. Find your lunge, lean into that back leg. I like putting my hand on there because I really like to feel that muscle kind of grip as I lean back. I can feel that top of my thigh get nice and firm. So if that palpation helps you find that work, hands on the thighs. And then we like to think feet on the railroad tracks. So it's a nice wide stance. So you're confident to go back, confident to come forward. You've got it. Nice. You guys, amazing. Nice lean backs. That's really impressive. You guys are amazing. Nice work. All right, 2 more times through if you can. Now we're going to come down tabletop position. So if you know that you've got tender kneecaps or mischievous knees from time to time, a little cushion underneath the knees goes a long way. We're going to take it right into our bird dog. So we're going to just go opposite arm, opposite leg. So take your time as you find your way down to your tabletop position. Check in before you go. Make sure everything feels good. Cushion your knees, cushion your wrists along the way, everything that wants that little extra care. And then once you've got the extra care taken care of, then we take it to work. Opposite hand and opposite leg, reach out and away from each other. For this one, I do like to focus on either staying stable the whole time or finding a way to come back to stability relatively soon. So even if you wobble and adjust to send the arm and leg out, as you come back in, you stir to your center, you keep your head in a nice focused gaze. Nice work. Eyes should be slightly in front of your hands or between your thumbs, so we're not looking at our knees, we're not looking toward the middle of our thighs. Now, for some of us, keeping this alternation is going to feel the best. But if you feel like just that little touch of extra work, you're going to go left arm, right leg, hold there, and we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lower and switch. Take it to the other side or stick with those alternations, but switch and then hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower everything down, take a second to rest. Now we're going to go elbows and forearms plank. We're going to go elbows and forearms plank. You can do it up against a wall. You can do it up against a chair. You can choose a variation that makes good sense to you. You can keep your knees down the whole entire time. We're going to go 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. So that's going to be the work. So come down elbows and forearms. Get your legs back into that planking position that you like the best. Hold steady there. We got 20 seconds to hold. Bring your knees down for a second, flip. Your palms are going to be facing up, and then you're going to slide your right elbow forward about 2 inches. And then once you've got your right elbow slid forward about 2 inches, lift your knees, hold steady there, 20 seconds. Bring your knees down and we adjust. Right elbow comes back in, left elbow moves forward about 2 inches, palms are facing up. And then when you're ready, lift up your knees, hold steady there, 20 seconds. Nice job. Bring your knees down slowly. Now we're going to take it into a little bit of mobility, a little bit of strength for the back extension work. So we're going to come down, hands alongside the shoulders. For my yoga friends, excuse me for a second, just gonna make sure my microphone's in the right place. All right, hands alongside the shoulders, elbows gently tucked into the ribs. We're going to take a cobra. So you're going to lift your chest up, and then you're going to lower it a bit, but it's still in a lifted position. You're going to lift your hands up, and then you're going to lower your hands and your heart completely down. So that's going to be the work. You're going to lift up into that stretch. And when you do that stretch, if you can, think like you're trying to stretch your sternum like a rubber band. So you're going to lift your chest up, get that good stretch. Come back down about halfway, lift your hands, hold, and then everything lowers down. Do it again, lift up into the cobra. Imagine you're trying to stretch your sternum like a rubber band. Lower about halfway, lift your hands and hold. And then lower everything completely down. And now you're going to find a pace that feels good to you. Lift up, get that nice stretch. Lower about halfway, lift your hands. And then lower when you're ready. Go for about 3 more if you can. Nice job. And then once you've done about 3 more, bringing yourself back up to tabletop position. As we come up into tabletop position, we're going to take some head turns. So it's just a bit of work of postural work and cervical spine mobility. So get your hands underneath you, spread your fingers. Get your toes curled under. Hold that steady dorsiflex position in this nice sturdy back body. Now you're going to be looking, let's say, to the tips of the fingers, and you're going to keep that gaze. You're going to start to turn your head from side to side. You're not going to let your chin drop down. You're not looking to your thighs. You're not looking to your knees. Not trying to lift the head too much. So we're keeping the head in a roughly neutral position. And then turn your head from side to side. Three more turns from side to side. Now we're going to come back down, elbows and forearms, but staying in that table position to do a little bit of focus work for our hypopressive technique, or that abdominal vacuum. So once you've done just enough head turns, keep your toes curled under, walk your elbows and forearms down. And then we take a second just to find some good posture. So now for this one, your gaze should be down between your elbows. So you keep a little bit of length in the back of your neck. You're going to spread your fingers. You're going to imagine that your arms are actively trying to gently pull your yoga mat apart so that we broaden the upper body. We want to think wide, proud shoulders, broaden the front armor of your chest, broaden that back armor of your back body, or back of the chest. And then once you've got that idea, then we take a big breath. So you're going to get your posture nice and sturdy. Now take a big rib cage filling breath. And then try to maintain that shape of the ribs as you exhale, soft belly, let your air go. Inhale to fill the rib cage up. Exhale, soft belly, let your air go. And you're going to take a few more cycles of breath. So our apnea, our hypopressive technique, it helps activate the deep core and the pelvic floor. It creates space through the rib cage and the lungs. So this is why I feel it's so important to us, that I want to keep bringing it back in. It supports our posture. It improves our breathing efficiency. It stimulates the fascia and the circulatory system, and that includes the heart and the lungs. So we've got a lot of stuff that goes on, and then it can also calm the nervous system. All right, so we're going to take one more cycle of breath, and then when you're ready, we'll add that breath hold if you feel up for it. Take a big inhalation, fill your rib cage up. Try to maintain that expanded shape of the ribs as you exhale slowly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close off nose, mouth, and throat, or pinch your nose closed to keep your mouth closed. Take a fake inhalation. So we take an inhalation maneuver, but we don't let any air come in. The diaphragm suctions up and we hold our breath for a moment. And then when you're ready, release your air. Come up nice and slow, spin your legs off to one side, and we're working our way down to the ground. So we're going to take it into our halfway roll backs. So with that nice bent knee position, hands alongside the thighs or hands free, you're going to tuck your bum, roll to that halfway point, find that sticky point where it's the hardest, and then use your exhale to return nice and slow. Roll halfway back. Find that sticky spot, hang there for a second if you can, and then come back up, restack the spine. Beautiful. Roll halfway back, find your sticky spot. Come back up nice and slow. We're going to do it 2 more times. All right, now as we come down onto the ground, we're gonna be doing some hip bridges. So if you know you like your looping resistance band on for your hip bridges, or if you like your yoga block between your knees, any of that kind of stuff, if you like to load up weights on your hip bones, or you like to put the theraband across the front of your front pockets of your jeans, you're gonna choose the resistance for your hip bridges that make the most sense. When you feel ready, get all your props on and ready and geared up and ready to go. Heels can be close to the butt, feet about hip width distance apart, or if you're looking for that little extra work, you walk your feet a little bit wider, dorsiflex the feet, keep them in that position. Hands down or arms up. Arms up is going to be your biggest challenge. Then we use the breath. You're going to exhale, lift your butt up. Inhale for that slow return. You can be loaded up at the front of the hip points. So if you want those hand weights on, put them in the front pockets of the jeans. And now before you go up, squeeze your butt muscles to start. Use the squeeze of your butt muscles to come up, and then use your inhalation to come back down. Nice. One more up and down, and then we're taking it into our Pilates. And I had to throw a little Pilates in. I couldn't just leave all the Pilates off. So when you're ready, walk your legs in so they're in that reverse table position. Hands come alongside the hips, and then we do that little curl up maneuver. We curl up the head, neck, and chest, and you start to pump your arms. Inhale, count to 5, and then exhale through your mouth for a count of 5. If you start to feel any strain in the neck, think lift your sternum, belly button down. Two more cycles of breath. All right, take a second, lower your head, neck, and chest, tuck your knees in just a touch, but now we're gonna take it right into single leg stretch. So once you've taken that rest for just a moment, curl back up again, knee comes in, one leg goes long, and then we switch. And it's all about that single leg stretch. So as that leg reaches away from you, put some energy all the way out to the toe, keep that curled up position, belly button towards the spine. Somebody's got a string tied to that sternum, pulling you upward. Two more times through, and then we're going to take it into our roll up. So for roll up, you can go looping resistance band around your thighs or around your feet. You can tuck it around your thumbs to get that little bit of a tug. Choose your own adventure. Take a second to take that rest. Let your head and your chest, lower knees into the chest. And then we're going to kick those legs nice and long. So if you have a tendency to want to really splay out your feet, put your yoga block or your ball between your feet, or put your looping resistance band around the center of your feet. You can also use your theraband, wrap it around the bottom of the feet, or theraband in a little bit of a tug. Choose your own adventure here. Inhale, arms come up. We exhale, cervical nod, lift the sternum, roll up through the spine, a little reach to the toes, and then we slow roll our way back down. Nice and slow and controlled. Take your time as you go down. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, cervical nod, lift the sternum, roll up through the spine, a little reach to the toes. And then we roll our way back down, nice and slow and controlled. Beautiful work. If this one's a struggle for you, it's hard. Pilates mat work is hard work. Roll up in specific, if you find that it's just a struggle bus to come up in that roll up position, you can always plant your feet up against a wall. It's going to give you that nice little push point where you can get that little bit of resistance, or the theraband does the same job, just wrapping it around the feet. So anything that gives you that nice bit of resistance work to help you come up in a controlled way. Lovely. One more roll up. And then as we come up, we're going to grab our theraband and we're going to finish with that little bit of Pallof press with that wide leg position. And then just an FYI, if you find that that anti-rotational work is really good for your core muscles and for your back, it can be done up against in standing position. I have a theraband that's tied to one of my doorknobs. So you can do it in standing position. You pull out and you press from the chest. But since we don't all have convenient doorknobs, that's why we do the wide leg position. So you always have an option to adjust if this wide leg stance doesn't feel good to your body. Take your band, put it around one foot. We go for the wide leg position because we want something that gives us that rotational pull. And then we do anti-rotational work. So we pull that band right close to the chest. We keep our spine straight, chest facing forward. It could pull you towards that leg if it wanted to, but you're not going to let it. And you're going to press out with control, hold for 2, and then come back in nice and slow. Press out and hold for 2. Come back in with control. Beautiful. Press out, hold. Come back in. And then how much resistance work you get, it's all about how much you choke up on the band to get that nice effort to go out, good effort to come in. All right, last one on this side. Come back in with control and then release that band from that foot. Take it over to the other side. Put your loop around your foot. Choke up on that band so it comes nice and tight toward your heart, but it could pull you towards the leg if you let go of those muscles in your abdomen. So firm up your center, nice tall spine, chest facing forward, and away we go. Press out, hold for 2. Come back in with good control. Three more if you can. Last one. Nice job. Bring it in nice and slow. Carefully release your foot from that band. Bring your feet in so they're in a butterfly position. And then once you've got that butterfly position, make it a little bit soft. Walk your heels just a little bit further away from you. And then like a soft fold, softly just kind of lean toward your feet just a touch. And then just take a few nice big breaths. Come up out of that fold nice and easy. Lean back, and now you're going to go into some 90-90. So you're going to let one knee drop in, one leg go out, and then roll across your glutes and take it over to the other side. 90-90s, take your time. Internal rotation, external rotation might look different one side compared to the other, one body compared to the other. So we don't try to mimic anybody else's range of motion. We just move safely and comfortably in a way that makes good sense to your knees, to your hips, to your back. All right, one more 90-90 to each side, and then bring it in. We're going to walk the legs out, just a little bit of a stretch to the backs of the legs, and then we're working our way up to standing with the foam roller. So bring your legs out in front of you, a nice big bend in the knees. Take a nice big breath. Think up and over, and as you exhale, reach towards your feet. And it does not matter if you can touch your feet. We're just reaching towards them. Maybe feel like there's a little gentle stretch in your low back, not too much in the legs, but then you're going to see if you can imagine that you're trying to reach your sits bones away from your heels, as if you're trying to reach your sitting bones to the back edge of your mat to feel a little extra stretch in the backs of the legs. Excellent. Come up nice and slow. Take your time as you walk it in. Give your legs a little bop and a wiggle. Come up to standing, grab your foam roller. Keep your theraband nearby. We'll use it towards the end of the work that we're going to do. As we come up, we're going to do just a little touch of footwork. We're going to use our foam roller as a kickstand, and we're going to put our toes into extension onto the foam roller. So we just want to be able to hold it nice and sturdy. So you want to make sure that you've got a secure position underneath your foam roller and the ability to just put a little bit of that downward push of body weight. Now take your right big toe. You're going to go shoot for just mainly the right big toe to start. You're going to put it into extension. For me, the second toe does kind of want to come along for the ride. Mostly focus on the big toe, get it into extension. And then you're going to hold that foam roller as firm as you can. And you're going to imagine that you're trying to push with the big toe. If your big toe is strong enough, it might kick that foam roller out from underneath you. So just sturdy yourself. Make sure you're in a good, strong stance so you can hold just in case that kicks out from underneath. Push your big toe, push your big toe, push your big toe. We just want to feel like you want to feel like there's a little bit of work coming out of the arch of your foot, perhaps. All right, now we're going to reduce the push of the big toe, and you're going to take a little heel lift as if you're trying to just bop your knee up against the foam roller and pick up your heel just a touch. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw. All right, one more walk of that heel, one more bop of the knee, and then we're going to move it on. So about the three middle toes are in extension. The other toes might come along for the ride, but focus on just finding that good lift of those three middle toes. And then you're going to do the same work. You're going to hold that foam roller firm, and you're going to push those three middle toes, and you're just going to do a little push and release. One more push and release with those three middle toes, and then take the heel for a little bit of a walk. Keep the toes in extension best you can. Keep a little bit of a firm hold on that foam roller, and then pick up the heel, bop the knee. Notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw. All right, now we're going to move it on down to the pinky toe. So you're going to get your pinky toe as much into extension as you can. Hold that foam roller firm. Little effort from the pinky toe. You're going to try to press the pinky toe into the foam roller as if you're trying to push that foam roller away with your pinky toe. All right, one more little press, and then keep the toe in extension and pick up the heel. Take it for a little walk, bop your knee. Beautiful. One more little walk there, and then slide that leg back so you're in a little bit of a lunge, but with the heel connected to the ground, and then just do a little bend and straighten of that back leg. Excellent. One more little bend and straighten there, and then we're going to switch the work to the other side. So take a second just to notice your toes might feel a little bit strong, a little bit more alive. Now we're going to take it to the other side. So you're going to go left big toe in extension. Whatever toes can fall off, let them. Hold that foam roller firm, and now try to push the foam roller away from you with your big toe. And you're just going to do a little push and release, push and release. One more little push and release, and then taking it for a walk with a little bit of a heel lift, a little bop of the knee. Awesome. One more moment there, and then we're moving it on down to the three middle toes. Get those three middle toes into extension. And now imagine you're trying to push the foam roller away from you with those three middle toes. So hold on firm with the roller, give a little push and release, push and release. One more moment there, and then we take it for a little walk. Bop the knee, pick up the heel. Nice work. Okay, one more moment there, and then we're moving it on down to the pinky toe. So get your pinky toe as much into extension as you can. Let the other toes do whatever they're going to do. Once you've got your way there, now imagine you're trying to use your pinky toe, and it's hard to differentiate. So you want to really reach out to that blade edge of your foot to get that pinky toe to push. And it's just a little press, release, as many as you like. All right, one more press and release, and then we take it for a little walk. Pick up the heel and bop your knee. One more moment there. And then when you're ready, slow release, and we're going to slide that leg back so we're in that lunging position. So we slide that leg back, but get that heel connected to the ground, and then take a little bend and straighten of the back leg. One more little bend and straighten, and then hands stay on the roller. Walk everything back to a nice little down dog stretch. Walk it back just as much as feels good. Put a little bend in the knees, make some space for your head to fit between your arms. Anything that feels good here, but just take a moment to take a nice big breath. All right, now we're going to come down into a saddle, half saddle seat. So we're going to put the foam roller long position, but then we're going to sit our butt onto it so that we can get one knee up and one knee down. And I'm going to spin myself around a couple of different ways. So as you bring your foam roller down, we're going to go for one knee high, one knee low. For some of us, this position is fine as long as you get a little bit more height underneath your butt. So if the foam roller is not quite tall enough to give you that height, put an extra pillow or a little folded up blanket so you get a little bit more lift, but you can still be in that relatively comfortable position. And then once you've got your way there, and again, I'm going to spin myself around a couple of times just to make sure what I'm saying is showing up, but you're going to take your back of your arm, your tricep is going to go up on that high knee. And then you're going to let the weight of your arm rest into the knee. And you're going to start with a little bit of a hammer fist. And hopefully here you feel a little bit of that muscle getting gently massaged against the cap of the knee. And then just allow for a moment to let your breath slow down. All right, now we're going to go bent knee, bent elbow position, and you're going to do a little shoulder rotation. So you're going to bring the arm in and out, or in and up. So it just comes to the inside and then back up towards the ceiling. Nice. One more moment there. And then you're going to keep that knee in high position, but you're going to rotate towards the knee. So you're going to use your hand to grab opposite hand to that knee, pull against that knee. So you get just a little bit of leverage so you can kind of gently torque yourself into a little bit of a twist with a little bit of constriction in the rib cage. Take a nice big sideways breath. All right, and then a slow unwind, and we're going to reset to the other side. So lean off, come up and out in a way that makes good sense. Everybody's knees and ankles and hips might need a moment to just find that new shape. So don't make it be pretty, just make it make sense to your body. Once you've got your way there, give it a second. Notice how everything feels, because one side might be different from the other. This side might want that little height and cushioning. So go for that little pillow underneath your butt if it feels good. And then once you've got a position that feels nice, back of the arm to the kneecap. Hang out there for a second, take a breath. And then if it feels good, add that little bend and straighten of the elbow, a little hammer fist. All right, now the next time that arm is in bent position, stay there, and then we get that shoulder rotation in and up. But hopefully here, your back, your triceps still resting against that kneecap. So as you go in and up, you feel that little bit of a ribbon of the muscle kind of working against the kneecap, hopefully, in a nice way. All right, one more in and out there. And then you're going to come up just enough so you can take opposite hand to the knee, and then we rotate. So you're going to kind of leverage it into that knee so you can pull against it, get nice and tall and upright in your spine. Once you've got that feeling of a little bit of constriction into the waist and the rib cage, take a big sideways breath as if you're trying to breathe the low side of your ribs up into your armpits. One more breath. All right, unwind slowly, readjust so that you can swing that low leg out. Now we're going to go long spine. So you're just going to do a little scooch and rearrange. When we go long spine, for those of us who feel good about it, you're going to get the occipital ridge over the edge of your foam roller. So take your time as you bring yourself down. And then see what you can adjust. So you want to find that ridge of your skull and see if you can just get the ridge of your skull to hug comfortably over the edge of your foam roller. If that doesn't feel safe, if you can't breathe comfortably there, if you've got any cervical spine issues or any reason why you just don't want that feeling of the head slightly falling back, leave it off. Once you've got a position that feels relatively good, let your arms come out to T position, palms facing up, and let your legs walk out just a little bit wider so your legs give that nice sturdy foundation. And then take a nice big breath. 2 more breaths here, just with a reduction of effort, but with each exhalation, think about the rib cage in the back of your rib cage specifically, kind of anchoring down towards the foam roller and connecting that low end of the rib cage in the back to the foam roller. And then once you feel that sense of connection in that back of the rib cage, we're going to add a little bit of head turn maneuver. So you're going to start by just gently turning your head from side to side, especially if you're got your occipital ridge over the edge of the foam roller. Go slow, make sure it feels good. And then if it does feel good, we're going to add a little bit of shoulder rotation or palm rotation. So as you turn your head to the left, your right palm is going to flip down to face the ground. And then as you turn your head to the right, your left palm is going to flip. So we're going to get a little flippity-doo-dah action with the arms as the head turns. But go nice and slow, especially since we're rolling across that occipital ridge. There's no need to rush. Take your time as you go. All right, one more turn from side to side or even yourself out. And then as you come back to center, you can stay on that occipital ridge if it feels good, or scoot your butt down just a touch so that the back of your head is connected. Go for what feels really good here for a moment. You're going to take either 4 fingers or heels of your hands, and you're going to find that masseter muscle that runs along the side of your jaw. And you're going to push in with just a little gentle, firm hold. You're going to keep your lips together best you can, and you're going to wiggle your jaw just a little bit side to side. One more wiggle of the jaw from side to side, and then either heels of the hands or fingertips. Go for what feels good. You're going to do the little locomotion. So you're going to keep that gentle press on that masseter muscle, and you're just going to do the locomotion. One hand is following the other in a little circular motion. And then you're going to take that locomotion and go the other way. All right, and then hands are going to release from the jaw, and you're going to let your arms open back wide, and you're going to scoot your bum down just a touch now so you get the back of your head onto the roller. And then once you've got the back of your head onto the roller, arms are going to start to find some snow angel work, just gently drifting up and down. You're going to start slow, find that soft, gentle range of motion where it feels lightly collaborative. And then slowly as you go, you might increase range of motion, but let that increased range of motion kind of feel like it happens naturally. Like you're not trying to force your body to do any specific shape or any specific position. Notice your breath as you go. One more snow angel arm, and then arms are going to come swooping up in front of the chest, and then take 3 big arm circles going in one direction. And then take 3 big arm circles going the other way. And big is a relative term. Big, what feels big to you, allowing just a nice, comfortable range of motion where you get some nice movement going on. And then arms are going to come right in front of the chest, make fist palms facing in towards each other, scapular shoulder roll. Scapular shoulder roll the other way. One more roll. Arms are going to come out low. Flip the palms, tent the fingers. Arms are now going to be our foundation. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. If you can, right away, you're going to lift up into reverse table, although you might choose to keep them in the lower position, but you've done this before, so you'll know the one you like best. Start to find that alternating toe tap. Start with a pointed toe. We're going to switch in a moment to a flexed foot. So take one more moment here, alternate with that toe tap. And then the next time you're up in table, flex your feet and now take it into a heel tap. One more heel tap to each side. And then we're going to slowly bring the legs down, slow roll your way off of the foam roller. We're going to make a little bit of an adjustment. So you're going to adjust your foam roller so it's going to come horizontal underneath your left calf, underneath your left kneecap, or underneath the back of your left thigh. It's going to be in a resting position, so you don't have to struggle too much with what choice you make, because you're just going to put it there and leave it in a comfortable enough position. Now you're going to take your theraband and we're going to come a single leg up the wall. So you're going to let the leg that's not doing anything, it's just going to rest in I got it on my calf muscle because that feels really nice to me. Take your band, put it around the center of your foot, and then you're going to put a good strong choke on that band, mainly so that your leg can reduce effort. So you've got your leg up, your foot is into the strap, you're holding on firm, put a little softness into your knee, and then let your leg be as soft as it can possibly do. So just reduce as much effort as possible and take 5 slow, deep, intentional breaths. All right, now you're going to hold on firm to that strap, and you're going to slowly, slowly, like 1 centimeter at a time. And it's mostly your arms that are holding onto that strap that allows this to happen in such a slow way. And you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly let your legs slowly lower down to the ground. Take your time. And then once that heel connects to the ground, soften your grip on your band, pull yourself up with good control, and we're going to take that work to the other side. So it's just a little bit of a readjust. Take your foam roller, pass it over to the other side. For that one, I'll say roughly evensies as to where you place it. If you put it underneath your calf, put it underneath your calf on the other side. If you put it underneath the pit of your knee, put it underneath the pit of your knee. Choose the place on the other side that feels good, a slightly restful position. Put your looping resistance band around your foot, and then get a good choke up on that band. So you get as much good sturdy handhold so that the leg can rest. Once you've got your way there, let your leg be heavy, hold on firm, and then slow your breath down. We're shooting for 5 slow, deep, intentional breaths. All right, now you're going to keep that good firm hold, and you're going to slowly, using the band, using your arms, reducing as much effort in the leg as possible, 1 centimeter at a time, slow incremental lowering of that leg. It rests in the band, so it's not trying to work too hard to come down. Your arms are holding on strong and the band is working the hardest. And then once that heel connects to the ground, then you can use that band to gently pull yourself up to a seated position, release the band from around your feet, and then scooch that foam roller in so that it comes underneath both calf muscles. Once you've got it underneath your calf muscles, lean back or lay down, go for what feels good, and then just start a little bit of a little turn of the toes. Turn them to the right, turn them to the left. All right, now we're going to take our toes and twirl them in circles. You're just going to circle in one direction. Anything else that wants to come along for the ride, let it. Knees, hips, thighs, anything that feels good. All right, take those twirly toes and go the other way. Awesome. One more twirl of the toes and then walk it down so it's nice and close to the Achilles tendon or on the Achilles tendon directly. Get where you can find a comfortable enough resting place without compromising your knees too much. And then just add a nice little point and flex of the feet. One more little point and flex, and then slow walk that foam roller up. It's going to come up along the backs of the legs. It's going to come up underneath the pits of the knees. Once it comes underneath the pits of the knees, pull it in underneath the thighs, and then you're going to kind of wedge it. So you're going to hold on to it firm, press the backs of your thighs into the roller, and then swish your knees just a little bit side to side. One more swish of those thighs from side to side, and then we're going to pop our butt right up onto the roller. So move it on in, pop your butt onto your roller, get a nice comfortable seat. And then once you've got a good comfortable seat, we're taking it for that big roll across the glutes. Take it to the right and then take it to the left. The next time you come over to the right, stay there, take a breath, and then slide that bottom leg in just a little bit so you can get that little bent knee position and go for that little flap of the butterfly wing. One more flap of the butterfly wing and then take it for that little knee drive. So stay leaned into that side of the glute and then bring the knee to your chest, then kick the knee away. Awesome. One more in and out. And then when you're ready, we're going to move it right over to the other side. Roll on over and across. Take your time. Once you found your way there, stay there for a second. Slide that left bottom knee in. Take it for a butterfly flap. Beautiful. One more flap of that butterfly wing and then take it into that knee drive. Knee lifts to the chest and leg kicks away. Awesome. One more in and out there, and then roll yourself back to center, lift your butt up and off, and we're just going to take 3 lengthy rolls of the spine to finish. So bring your back body onto that foam roller, support your head, tuck up your ponytail, and then take some slow intentional rolls, just going up and down as far as feels comfortable at a pace that feels good. Once you've done just enough so it feels stimulated and there's that nice sense of warmth in your back, take a second to set your butt down, lift yourself up just enough, take a little cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin towards the chest. And then come up to a nice neutral spine. Give a second just to feel in, make sure everything feels good. You guys are amazing. Nice work today. Woo!